Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the GW E100, the Geschützwagen E100, the Tier 10 German SPG, located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. This one is under the command of randyxx777, and yes, it's one of the replays that he sent in a little while back, and wondered where his replay got to. Well, this is a fictional Arty, of course, as I said in the previous video. Yeah, they never actually existed, and Wargaming had to think up some Arty to actually put in the Tier 10 slot because they'd already used the GW Tiger, which was actually partially built by the end of the war, but they needed something to go to the Tier 10 slot, and this is the one they came up with. Based on the GW well, not the GW, but the E100 tank. Rounds out. First shot on the Progetto is a near miss for 124. Now it's a 21cm howitzer capable of 900 alpha, 53mm pen, 37.39 seconds on the reload, and we can see that Randy has managed to get it down to 28.85. Ooh, now that Object 140 just burnt his repair kit. Oh, unfortunately that one was a bit shallow and landed short. He burned his repair kit because you saw he suddenly got tracked, but he fixed it very quickly. If that shell had gone in and tracked the 140, then there's a very good chance that the guys who actually were firing at the 140 beforehand and tracked him would get second damage and he would have picked up extra. So unfortunately he missed out there. Nobody in sight. Part of the problem being a Arty player is you just are so reliant on other people to spot for you. And now this is interesting. Rounds out. Again he lands shallow. Well shallow. It was within the reticule, but it was well short of the target. You can see fellow Arty in this game is a T92 HMC. Now, something we have been seeing just recently is we're seeing more games with 3 Arty in them again. Wargaming said that they wouldn't do that they would actually change the maximum number of Arty would be 2. And most games would just have 1 Arty and that would be it. Apparently, so many people are playing Arty that they've had to increase the number, otherwise the waiting times have become so long that most players would just give up. As it is, it's pretty bad if you do log into the game to play Arty, and you might have to wait some time for a game to turn up. But they do warn you that that's likely to happen. Rounds out. Direct hit on the BZ-75, and he got stun assist straight away as well. And he's getting more. Now he's getting a good amount here of moving about and relocating after each shot, which really does help, because it makes it impossible to counter battery. Just the other day, one of the expert players, Oxidor, he actually was criticized, or the enemy Arty or the enemy player tried to counter battery him numerous times and just wasted huge amounts of time trying to get him, and in return, of course, didn't get him. In the meantime, Oxidor was having his wicked way with the enemy's tanks. It just pointless trying to counter battery somebody who knows what they're doing, because they can avoid being counter battery just by moving a short distance away from the firing position. Okay, E50M, next target. Rounds out. Direct hit again. And he's moving. Now he knocked that telegraph pole down, but he's laying a dummy for the enemy because he's knocked it down, but he's actually moving back from that spot. Up on top of the hill. 60 TP. There he is. He's moving up to shoot. Just behind him. That's it. Oh, he fires a bit late there. I would have said, as I said, aim just behind him. He moved up to shoot, which meant obviously that he was going to stop his vehicle at the top point, so you aim behind him, so at the moment he's actually fired his gun and pulls back, goes right into the shell. Now, he didn't relocate after this one because he wants to be fully dialed in to wait for the 60 TP to pop up again, and he should be about ready to do that now. Now, he needs to just adjust the aim to behind the target. There he is. Right, aim behind the target, fires the round in. He would have pulled back into the shell if he'd aimed just behind the 60 TP, but he aimed at the front of the guy, and all he got was stun. Okay, Viz 55, we're not fully loaded yet. Of course, you can try and hit enemy tanks that are actually on their descent down the hill. Okay, this one might actually hit. Well, it was right next door to him for 341. And this time round, we are moving to avoid counter battery. Okay. He needs to be careful because he's actually directly in, behind him is the T92. If you're backing up, there you see, you can get a bit of an overlap sometimes. RTs tend to fire directly over the top of RTs sometimes, but if you get two tracers coming from the same spot, it becomes so obvious to the enemy RT exactly where the pair of you are that they find it very easy to hit both of you. And it has happened in the past where two RT have been taken out by one shot from an enemy because they worked out where the counter battery should go. E50M next to the railway line. This RT dials in fairly quickly. It's 4.5 second, and he gets the kill on the E50M. Yes, 4.5 seconds is to the 1/3 of the aim time, so it takes on average about 15 seconds, so slightly longer than you get for the Soviet RT, which tend to dial in fairly quickly. Okay, we know that Viz 55 is in there. Can't see exactly where now. Need our STB1 to show us where he is. Okay, he's moving up to, so we should get a spot any second now. Oh, and he pulls away just as the STB1 pops up to have a look. But we're going after a Leopard 1. And he gets a splash kill. The Leopard took a hit from one of our teammates just as our shell went in. And he took the splash kill. So he didn't get much in the way of damage. Only 87 hit points, but he did get another kill. So 2 kills now to Randy. The Viz 55 expires. The STB1 got him. And I think the Object 430U on the enemy team made a bit of a rash decision there. Now he thinks that he can get the better of the 60 TP. Oh, the enemy RT just planted around on top of him. Oh dear, no, that wasn't very well shot. Yes, and we can see where the enemy RT are both located. They're both on the west side of the map, right down the far end. But the 430 and the 60 TP both went down. We're 3 up on the enemy in this game so far. And although Randy doesn't have a whole lot of damage, he does have 2 kills. Okay, there's the waffle factory. Rounds out. Oh! That looked like it hit the gun shield. And he picked up a massive amount of stun assist off that shot alone. And the guy's still stunned. And it could be more. There is. That shell had a major effect because he's now up to just under 2,000 stun assists. And that shell alone accounted for over 1,000 of that. And the enemy is now starting to collapse. There's 6 tanks down. They've lost the hill. We're looking towards the rear. The enemy Arty appear to be on this side. I'd say that tree that's fallen over at an angle is probably hiding something. Usually a tree that goes over like that is because there's something just directly behind it. Well, their Jaegeru just killed our Progetto 65, so we know the Jaegeru's on this side of the battlefield. And I think they are now starting to fall back because we're very close to the enemy cap. But we're just skirting the edge of it right now. So I'd say go to the tree line. And yes, he's looking at the tree line. More than likely, one of the enemy tanks is going to be showing up there in the bushes very shortly. Yes, he's marked where he thinks the enemy Arty will be located. That's the usual spot. We just lost our E100 to their BZ75. No Arty showing so far, which is surprising. Oh, the Arty are already dead. Sorry, what am I saying? Well, there's one of them, the E100. Dialed in, rounds out, and close. And loads of stun assist. Masses of stun assists off that one. More of the enemy are turning up. We're getting a request for fire on the BZ75. And he's gone. There's only one enemy left. It is the Batchat 25 ton. Now, where are you located? Oh, he's actually a lot further north. And he's gone. And that's the end of the game. Well, there was a sudden surge of stun assist at the end of that battle, and randyxx777 got a huge boost to his score because he got an ace tanker out of that game because of that stun assist right at the end. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13, and he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken up by other teammates. His win rate, 2,994, which is Unicum on the border of Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to the Jaeger on the enemy team with 5,117 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the STB1 on our team, 4,123. And the third highest damage was the Progetto 65 on the enemy team with 3,614. And we can see that Randy actually got 2,770 hit points of damage, which means that he was beaten by only 2 players on the enemy team and 3 on his own, which puts him in 6th place on damage. When it came to kills, it was the STB1 who did the best with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the T92 HMC, where the guy was just behind us, was clocking up the kills. And 2 kills went to the Strip 103B and to Randy in that game. So, yes, so 2 there, and that puts him in joint 3rd place on kills. When it came to base XP, though, he's in 3rd place overall because the STB1 managed 1,102. The IS-7 got 1,002. Those are the only 2 managed to get over 1,000 base, but close behind them was Randy with 965. So he did have a good battle at the end, mainly down to that stun assist surge right at the end, putting them on the right targets and then picking up masses of stun assist. He fired 16 shots, got 4 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but he did get 16 splash. Damage of 2,770, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damage 10 to the enemy, killed 2, and he did 3,201 hit points of stun assist or 14 stuns. On a premium count, he actually earned 82,160 credits profit off that game. Got a 65,000 mission completion bonus, 7 bonds for being tier 10, 2,895 experience points altogether. So he said a combined 6K. Yes, I think it is. That's 6. Yep, it is. Very, very good game combined overall, but it was that really good surge right at the end of stun assist, which had the major effect of giving him a nice little ace tanker right at the end as a consolation. Well, it's not really a consolation because he did actually do very, very well in that game, getting the badges and, of course, the ace. Let's have a look at the second replay that he sent in alongside this one. The second replay is on the Pearl River map, and we're on the North Spawn. Game on. Well, it looks like Randy's going to travel around the back, and it is good round here because of the protected fire position. So it looks like the Conqueror gun carriage is managing to speed past him. It's 40 kilometers an hour, the top speed of the GWE900. It is quite a heavy Arty, actually, if you think about it. 100 tons is the weight. Okay, he's ready to go. Now, looking in the village, we can see a Leopard 1 has managed to get in there fairly quickly. Not an easy shot, in fact, probably not worthwhile shooting, based on the fact that it might hit the buildings. Over on this side of the map, though, there are some targets he can hit, including that Badger. Rounds out. Well, a little late, but he's still got some stun assist off it. So I think it justified that he actually turned to fire and get dialed in just after he went round the corner rather than moving to another firing position. Okay, we've got 3 enemy targets together, including a Waffenträger Alpha E100, a Jaeger Alpha E100, and another one. So he really can't miss there. He's got 3 targets with 1 shot. 2 of them taking damage, both of them Jaegerus. Oh, you get lovely situations like that where you get lots of enemy tanks together. Now, at the start of the game, obviously, I would normally say use as much stun as you can on those enemy tanks to slow them down and give you loads of stun assists. Now, the Waffle barely moved, and he got hit with a direct shot, and that might actually have gone through the gun shield because it looked like he only moved forward just a fraction of an inch. And the gun shield on the Waffenträger is one of the weak spots. So he could have a high roll there. Oh, another one, a Hirschbahn. And he's made the mistake of going down the road. Now, that's it. This is beautiful. Line it up based on the fact that the guy's probably going to be pulling back, rounds out, and direct hit. Kill shot. Lovely one. Right on the money. It looked like the Conqueror gun carriage got the first hit, and that made the guy want to back up, and he backed up right into Randy's shot. And so the Conqueror gun carriage is going to be happy because he got stun assist, and of course Randy's happy because he got the kill shot. Okay, we've got an E900 and a Badger. Rounds out the Badger. Direct hit on top of him. 243. Unfortunately, we've lost all the tanks on that side of the map. So now would be the time to make a move to try and change position, possibly go down the west side of the map. He's staying here for the moment. Jaeger is still up there, and possibly the other Jaeger there as well. Rounds out. Well, yes, some splash. We don't know if that would have splashed the other Jaeger as well, because he could still be up there. You can only see the one. Okay, the Waffle has actually pulled back, and he's very, very short on hit points. Rounds out. Well, that's a direct hit. And 391, and the Waffle's gone down. So that's a nice kill, that one, because that was the guy who pulled back. So I have a feeling that he did get a very big hit earlier in the game, because that was the one who was just on this corner and he looked like he only had half his hit points or less, far less. So I think that was a very good shot. Rounds out. Another direct hit, 363. And I think that was the Conqueror gun carriage firing in, because yes, we just picked up 384 stun assist. So I think our teammates in the other Arty actually just gifted us some more stun assist out of that one, probably as a thank you for the stun assist he got earlier on the FP4005. Okay, object 430. Our Progetto just saw him. Rounds out. This could be a good shot. It slows the object 430 down, gives our Progetto enough time to turn around. And the Conqueror gun carriage is also following us on the shots. And look at this, loads of stun assists, masses of it. And a kill shot on the 430. That was a massively worthwhile shot there. Now there's only an E100 down that way, I think. The Cranvons went around the other side. We've got a 3-tank advantage. We push back on the west side of the map. They're now headed towards their enemy cap. On this side of the map, well, they failed to get through that side. So it justifies the fact that Randy didn't change position from where he was, because it actually worked out for his benefit. Now, the Cranvon up against this Progetto 65. Can we put a shell in there? Well, no need, because the Cranvon's gone. And, oh, now that was an Arty round that hit the Progetto from one of the enemy Arties who's just in that little corner. They found the E100. Can we put a round in there? Yes, they can. And he's pushing forward to try and get a shot at our Gorilla. Rounds out. Good shot. Unfortunately, the Gorilla does take a big hit from the E900, but he's reloaded and he's going in for the kill shot. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it, but the EBR 105 does. In fact, actually, it wasn't the EBR, it was the Progetto 65 who got the kill shot in the end. Now we can see the Conqueror gun carriage has gone into the corner, which means that the other Arty must be the T92, and he must be behind that tree line somewhere in that corner. Our Panzerkampfwagen 7 goes in, he finds the T92 and wipes him out. That shot was bang on target because we heard the clang. Now the Jaeger's a protected position there. We can't get shots into that corridor. We will be reloaded shortly, and the EBR is making its way around to try and get behind the Jaeger. Jaeger appears to be pointed at the other direction. Yes, the EBR just fired a round into his rear, and I think he's going to block his way out. This game's going to be over momentarily. The EBR's probably going to fire one round right up the rear. And there you go. There's the kill shot that ends the game. And here's the end of battle results. And that was yet another ace tanker for Randy XXX777 in the GWE 900. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. And he got another Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. His win ace on this one, 2,211, which is very good indeed. And in fact, actually, if we look at the previous results, that took place on the 28th at 1945. And then this one came along on the 29th. So the next day, he managed to get another ace tanker in the same Arty. And in fact, this was a massive case of you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, because it was the Conqueror gun carriage and Randy between them were tearing those enemies apart by firing the rounds in one after the other on the same target. And as a result, they were picking up stun assist off each other's shots. And then the teammates were actually coming in and and finishing off the enemy for us. So a very good battle. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in this one. That went to the Kranvan on the enemy team with 4,236 hit points, but it wasn't enough for 20%, so it didn't get the high caliber. Second highest damage went to the E100 on the enemy team with 3,657. And in third place, we've got the Gorilla 15 on our team with 3,620. You can see that Randy picked up 2,345 hit points of actual damage in that game. The next highest after him, well, looking at his position, he's got 5 members of the enemy team, of his own team rather, ahead of him. And if we look at the scores, we can see 4 members of the enemy team, which puts him in 11th place on damage. But so many of the top players actually managed to get very high scores, so it was working out very, very nicely. And Randy was the only player in that entire game who managed to get a medal. He got the Confederate, which, well, nobody else managed to get. We can see the Conqueror that was actually working with him on that one, 1,510 hit points. But he, of course, as I said, he was hitting similar targets. He was the one who hit the enemy Heshbon and stunned him and forced him to go back. And then, of course, Randy got a direct hit to take him out. Let's have a look at the number of kills. Well, we can see the high scorer on this one was the Progetto 65 with 3 kills. 2 kills, the EBR, Hori 3 and Badger. And on the enemy team, their E100 and their Badger. And when it came to base XP, we can see Randy got second place. The EBR managed 974. He also got the last kill of the game. And then after him is Randy with 952. And in third place, the Progetto 65 with 926. He got 12 shots out in that game, 6 direct hits on the enemy, 1 penetrating shot, which has to be that Heshbon, surely, because yes, it was. Direct hit on his turret, penetrated him and took him out of the game, but directly after the Conqueror gun carriage hit the guy and persuaded him it was probably better to move backwards. Yes, he did hit that waffle tractor, 772 hit points of damage. Now, if you remember, the second shot he fired only earned him about, I think it was a couple of hundred hit points. But so it means that the previous shot actually did earn him about 400 or more on the previous occasion. So it wasn't a penetrating shot, but it was a direct hit and it did do serious damage. Going back to the detail, we can see he also got 10 splashes, damage of 2,345, all of it at more than 300 meters, damage 7 to the enemy, killed 1, 4,013 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. Yes, when your teammates do shoot at the same targets, then you do pick up a lot of stun assist, and that makes a huge difference with the end of battle result, giving you another ace tanker. On a premium count, he earned 92,231 credits profit from that game, yet another mission completion bonus, and 7 bonds, and 2,856 experience points altogether. So 2 really good games there, 1 day apart, but just goes to show if your teammates shoot at the same targets that you stun, you do end up with a massive score overall. And in this one, we can see that the combined damage, if I show it that on that page, you can see over 6k, 6.3k of damage in this one. Again, makes a huge difference to the end of battle result for an Arty player, because if his teammates stun or hit the same targets, he picks up the stun assist, ace tanker. It's how it happens, how it works. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays, 2 ace tanker games this time round. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.